We are facing an unprecedented crisis of a highly complex nature, the worst economic contraction since independence. The defining challenge for us is a test of our social cohesion and our psychological resilience. The COVID-19 pandemic is the most serious crisis we have faced in a generation. Based on advanced GDP estimates released this morning, in the first quarter, the Singapore economy contracted by 10.6% quarter-on-quarter or 2.2% year-on-year. This morning, the Ministry of Trade and Industry further downgraded Singapore's GDP growth forecast for 2020 for a range of -0.5 to 1.5% announced last month to between -4.0% and -1%. In Singapore, we are doing everything we can to keep you and your families safe. How Singapore manages this and whether we emerge stronger from this will define us as a people and nation. Altogether, we are dedicating close to $55 billion to support our people in this battle, amounting to 11% of our GDP. This is a landmark package and a necessary response to a unique situation. The resilience budget focuses on three key areas. First, save jobs, support workers, and protect livelihoods. For every local worker in employment, I will raise the government's co-funding of wages from 8 to 25%. Firms in the food services sector will receive higher support at 50% of wages. And firms in the aviation and tourism sectors, which are the most badly affected sectors, will be supported at 75% of wages. The second group of individuals whom we seek to support is self-employed persons. I've discussed with the Minister for Manpower and NTUC Secretary General on developing a self-employed person income relief scheme or SERS for this period. Eligible self-employed persons will receive $1,000 a month for 9 months. Apart from employees and self-employed, I will provide more help for job seekers to find employment. I will also launch the SG United Jobs Initiative to create about 10,000 jobs over the next 1 year. Low and middle income employees who lose their jobs can receive a grant of $800 per month for 3 months to tide them over while they find new jobs or go for training. I will enhance the care and support package announced in the Unity budget. A young family will now receive around $2,900 instead of $1,300 under the care and support package. A 3-generation family will receive about $6,700 instead of $1,800. The government will freeze all government fees and charges for 1 year, from 1st April 2020 to 31st March 2021. To help graduates who are worried about having to pay off their student loans while finding jobs in this economic climate, I will suspend all loan repayments and interest charges for 1 year, from 1st June 2020 to 31st May 2021. This will apply to all graduates who have taken a government's loan for their university and polytechnic studies. I will also suspend all late payment charges on HDB mortgage arrears for 3 months for those who are struggling with their mortgage payments during this difficult period. The second thrust of the resilience budget is to help businesses overcome the immediate challenges. The resilience budget will address the 3 C's on the minds of every business owner now: cash flow, cost, and credit. The first C is cash flow. Altogether, the Job Support Scheme and Wage Credit Scheme will flow $16.2 billion into the hands of businesses by October this year. For 2020, qualifying commercial properties that have been more badly affected by the COVID-19 outbreak, including hotels, service apartments, tourist attractions, shops, and restaurants, will pay no property tax. This is a big enhancement from the 15 to 30% property tax rebate announced in the Unity budget. I strongly urge landlords to fully pass on the rebates to tenants by reducing renters to directly ease the cash flow and cost pressures faced by tenants. Many businesses have pointed out that it will be a lose-lose situation if landlords do not support their tenants. After all, if tenants fail, the properties will be empty. On top of the broad-based support to help businesses address the 3 C's, I'll provide additional help to specific sectors that are most directly affected by COVID-19. Air hubs and airlines with large domestic markets are under stress. Our air hub, with only international traffic, faces an even sharper impact from widespread international border closures. The Changi Air Hub is an important pillar of our economy. The hub and its adjacent industries contribute over 5% of Singapore's GDP and employ approximately 192,000 people. To help businesses whose activities are based principally in the aviation sector retain their local workers, I'll provide an enhanced job support scheme. This enhancement will cost the government more than $400 million. I also introduced a $350 million enhanced aviation support package to fund measures such as rebates on landing and parking charges and rental reliefs for airlines, ground handlers, and cargo agents. In addition, I will set aside $90 million to help the tourism industry rebound strongly when the time is right. For the arts and culture sector, we'll provide an additional $55 million support package. This will save jobs and support upskilling and digitalization of the sector. The third thrust of the resilience budget is to build resilience in our economy and society. I'll set aside $1.9 billion in this budget to support this. COVID-19 has also emphasized the importance of having resilient supplies of food and other essential items. We're building up our national stockpile of health supplies, including masks and hand sanitizers, so that we'll continue to be well stocked. We have in place a robust, multi-pronged strategy to ensure that we continue to have a stable supply of safe food. At the individual level, we can all continue to grow and learn in this time of disruption. SSG has worked with institutes of higher learning and continuing education and training centers to allow Singaporeans to make early use of the base $500 SkillsFuture credit top-ups for their courses from 1st April 2020, ahead of the full implementation date in October. In view of the exceptional circumstances, the government has obtained President's in-principle support to draw up to $17 billion to fund some of the measures to save jobs and the economy. The measures that I've announced today will raise the overall budget deficit for financial year 2020 to $39.2 billion. Let me caution that there remains a high level of uncertainty over the future costs of the outbreak. Unlike the global financial crisis or the Asian financial crisis, where both the causes and solutions were economic and financial in nature, this crisis is far more complex. This additional medical, social, and psychological dimensions. The government and the political leadership are in this with Singaporeans. We share the worries and anxieties of Singaporeans and will do our best for you. We will walk with every Singaporean through every up and down. This is what it means to be SG United. This is what it means to be Singapore together. I'm confident that together we will ride through this storm and emerge even stronger.